I mean, I jokingly we call ourselves omni-liberals because that seems to be like the most pretentious prefix I could put onto liberal, and the neoliberal thing was already taken. But I don't know. Like, I'm a pretty staunch liberal. I think most of my values are progressive, but like I'm very much rooted in like what does the research say? What are the facts on the ground? Like, let's make the best decisions for everybody. Don't get so attached to processes, look at outcomes, and yeah, like a really data-driven approach towards like effecting some morally good thing. You know.
How did you
Yeah,
come to
this is
stream
actually
games
perhaps
full
one
time in the
area.
first place?
This is perhaps one area where I disagree with Dustin. There's actually a couple areas where I disagree with him, but this is the one that really comes to mind. I feel like he doesn't care about process very much at all. I feel like I feel like process actually does matter. I understand from he's looking at it from the idea of it doesn't matter how you get somewhere as long as you get there and it's a good thing, which I think can be a somewhat dangerous mindset actually, because I think that in a country where there's a lot of disagreement or just liberal democratic society, you have to have, and he even recognizes this too. You have to have a degree of graciousness. He even says it himself um, in your victories, but you have to there has to be a widespread public perception that the process by which X, Y, or Z is accomplished is fair. And he might even concede that point, but he doesn't talk about it perhaps as much as, or he. It's not that he doesn't talk about it; it's that he views it as ancillary. I would say that's where I should just ask him and see if he feels it as ancillary. But it seems like he views it more as ancillary rather than being extraordinarily important. Whereas I think it is extraordinarily important that the processes are fair. And I mean, we can go down a rabbit hole of like 15 different examples where this is applicable, but I wonder how far he would take that because he does sometimes recognize that processes are important, and then other times it's totally ancillary to him. It seems. So I'm not sure if he has like a coherent way of determining whether or not it's important. I'm sure he does. I mean, shit, he might, but where does he draw that line, and why, and what would be the reasoning for being so critical of process?